Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watson on target here to Fuller, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The numbers for Fuller last week. 6 catches, 66 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here, you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
Think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just...
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
That's a takeaway. That's how the defense scored points.
On the double. 41 to Mike.
I'm coming for it.
That's all right.
They go play action now. Jackson sliding out of the pocket. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Play action. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That sets up a 1st and goal.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about...
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Watson on 1st down. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 28. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That throw good for only a couple and brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll go out of bounds inside.
Receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? From him soon.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And it's caught. And a loose football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. And he is going to lose yard. is a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's Jackson. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved.
Yeah.
You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
So we have reached half. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. On 3rd down, Smith. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. They go play action with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless showing no mercy. Flies in for the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Ready. Squeeze.
Hey, watch delay.
Watch twist. Watch.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys.
The second half. First time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Watson off play action. Going deep here for Still. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He was looking that time for Stills. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball running it, but not in that situation. I mean, I think we got an example of why NFL coaches really don't like their quarterback in the running game.
Because whether he keeps it or not, he's likely going to take a hit, isn't he?
No doubt about it. And defenses, they're looking to put that hit on a quarterback.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Back to throw, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Under 10. Under 10.
A first down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Back now in Houston. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. This time Jackson will throw it. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Pitch and catch complete to Hireman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. Screenplay, Johnson.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful what the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Texans here on 3rd down putting an extra defender in the secondary. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
10-2, sir. 55. Let's go, D. Let's go. Keep him.
He'll find Metcalf. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll toss it to Smith. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamp. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running everyone. I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So